Welcome back to the Swang Low Podcast Show. It is yours truly, Do Rock Creek. What's happening with all my people out there in the free world today? Welcome back to the Round Table. It's an absolute pleasure to be back here amongst my Round Table family. Now, look, I'm not going to hold y'all up too long today, man. I just wanted to run this funny prison story by y'all, you know what I'm saying? Another experience that I had, you know what I'm saying, during my incarceration. Okay, so this incident took place back in the year 2011 in Corcoran State Prison, Sat FC Yard. Okay, now I first get to that prison in 2010, and I arrived at that prison from High Desert State Prison. Now, any of y'all that has ever been to High Desert State Prison know that that is like way, way out in foreign land somewhere, right? Or at least it seemed like it, but it's definitely far away. So leaving that place and going to anywhere seemed like you was paroling, like you was going home. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I felt. So anyway, I get to New Corcoran, you know what I'm saying, in 2010. Bam, I'm there. And probably a year later, after me getting there, I end up getting in a position to be able to buy my very first cell phone in prison. Okay. Shout out to the homegirl. I'm not going to say her name. You know what I mean? But shout out to her because she was instrumental in making that happen for me. You know what I mean? Out the kindness of her heart, she went through the set. You know what I'm saying? Ran into a couple of the homies. Shout out to the homie Ty Bud and shout out to the homie Seven Finger Eric. You know what I'm saying? Because they definitely looked out for me, man. Put me in a position where I was able to buy my first cell phone. Now, this cell phone was a flip. But let me go into the story on, the actress of me actually getting that phone in my hand. Okay, so bam, I holler at quite a few people in trying to make this purchase, right? Once I was able to gather up the money, you know what I'm saying? Again, shout out to the homies that looked out for me. Shout out to the homegirl that organized that and was instrumental in making that happen for me. Um, I get the money together, bam. Now I'm going around hollering at different people, you know what I'm saying? Trying to put this play in motion. I end up coming across the right person. Shout out to the homie Baby Loke Ron from Grape Street Watts. That's my Loke right there, for real, for real. Shout out to bro. Holla at bro, you know what I'm saying? At this time, the Comptons and Watts had everything. They had everything. You know what I'm saying? And at that time in that building that I ended up in, it was probably like 20 something Compton and Watts there. And each one of them had phones. You know what I'm saying? That was my first time seeing an MP player. You know what I'm saying? They had all kind of stuff popping at that time. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the boy Rock Nitty. You know what I'm saying? From Front Street Watts. Shout out to TS from Front Street Watts. You know what I'm saying? And so many others that was there, bro. But anyway, they had everything. So bam, we meet up, we holler about what we was the business we was gonna do, and me purchasing that cell phone, right? Bam, get the money to him. Now it's a waiting game. Now I gotta wait for the product to arrive, right? So bam, you know how you antsy, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like Christmas. You know what I'm saying? You can't wait to get to the presents. You know what I'm saying? Open it up because you know you got something there. It's coming, and you just can't wait to get to it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I was about this cell phone. Again, this was my very first one that I had purchased in prison. So bam. Now I'm waiting it's probably like the second day. I'm waiting on it to come through. So bam, I'm hollering at the homies. You know what I'm saying? TA and Baby Loke Ron them, right? About the situation. They like, man, we got don't trip. It's on the way. It's on the way. Now they telling me the person that they homeboy that was pretty much doing everything ran into a bit of a challenge trying to, make that happen. And just so happened it involved the visiting room, right? So bam, I'm like, they explaining everything to me, right? Like it was a bad time for them to try to make that happen that day. So they telling me like, just chill, man, don't even trip. You know what I'm saying? It'll be here tomorrow. So I'm trying to figure out like, okay, but so bam, they run the story down to me like this. This is why I didn't get it on the day that I was promised. I was actually promised to get it on a Saturday, right? Saturday came and went. Now the reason why I didn't get it on the Saturday, remember, bro was trying to work a play through the visiting. So bam, I guess that day when he went out to get it, he got it. You know what I'm saying? But the police switched the game up. All of a sudden, you know what I mean? The police go out to the visiting room like 10 deep, probably more. You know what I mean? And instead of doing their normal way of searching, they brought out the metal detectors and all kind of other stuff, right? So this dude, if y'all remember how flip phone look, how big it is and all that, right? You had dudes sticking those up their butt, right? I BS you not. And this was a way that this guy was getting those phones in, right? Putting it up his butt. So bam, I guess this particular day when he went out to get it, he put it up there, and then the police switched the game up and came out with the metal detectors and all that. So he peeped. Now, it's probably like 20, maybe 30 something people that they have lined up waiting to get searched and go out. Now he's in the back of the line, so he's back there peeping and see the metal detectors and all that. He like, oh no, I can't get caught like this, right? So what this person do? This dude was he was actually from Sacramento. He wasn't even from Compton, Watts. They was just tied into him real good. You know what I'm saying? They actually had somebody that was like this with this dude. So they was all tied in together. They had a cold little structure to their operation. So anyway, this crazy cold, I don't even know how to describe this dude, right? But the dude from Sacramento that's getting the phones, he peeped them come in with the metal detector. This fool already got it up his butt. It's already up there into his stomach and all that, right? Do you know he made himself poo poo? He made himself poo poo in the visiting room. It's 30 something dudes out there waiting to get searched in line with him, right? And that wasn't the only flip phone that he had up in him. He had three. He was able to bring three at a time. Well, I know of three, probably more, right? But definitely three for sure, right? So bam, three flip phones, bro. So look, this dude make himself poop on himself, poop out all three phones, poop out all three cell phones, right? Get them, take them, throw them in the trash. He was able to do that before they got down to him in the line to search him. Right? I can't make this up. I swear, I promise you. So bam, he get the three phones up out of him. He poop them back out. Now it's poop everywhere, including on his clothes and all that. But he not tripping. His way of thinking is I'm living the fight another day. So if I get past these metal detectors with boo-boo on me, so be it. I'd rather have these people laughing at me than having everybody pointing their finger at me, talking about how stupid I was for trying to go through the metal detectors with three cell phones up my anus. Right? That was his way of thinking. So he pooped out all three phones, right? Able to get them and throw them in the trash before the police even got to him. And once they got to him, the one police that's searching him, when he get his pants and his drawers and all that, he like, hey man, he like, you pooped on yourself, right? Look, I'll BS you not, right? This police tell he like, hey, he like, what the hell? He like, hey, you pooped on yourself, right? So this dude from Sacramento, he like, hey man, I've been trying to get out of here for the past 30 minutes. Y'all holding us up in line. I got the runs. I've been having the runs for the past few days and this and that. He run cap on them, right? So the police that's searching him though, it was a cold Keystone cop. You know what I'm saying? So he not buying it. You know what I'm saying? But the thing was, dude was able to get them phones up out of him and throw them in the trash. So dude is nowhere near the trash, but that police know, like, no, you ain't just no. You know what I'm saying? Because we give y'all bathroom breaks and all that during your visit. You know what I'm saying? So, but he didn't find nothing. He couldn't find anything. You know what I'm saying? All he seen was this dude poo-pooed on himself. You know what I'm saying? So, bam. When they come back with that story to me, right? All I can do is just shake my head like he's a cold that. And then the next day, you go back out the very next day, 24 hours later, run the same play and pass. Run the same play and pass three more phones up the anus. Brought them back that Sunday night. I had my flip phone, right? Now, yeah. The phone was up his butt and all that, right? It didn't come back smelling like that or none of that. Trust me, you know what I'm saying? He sterilized it and all that. Plus, when they get it, they have the phone wrapped up real good. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't come back smelling funny or weird or none of that. Thank God. You know what I mean? But I got my phone the next day. He went back out that Sunday and ran that same play. Got the three phones in. You know what I'm saying? But this is something that these dudes was doing on a regular basis. Remember, this was way back in 2011. You know what I'm saying? And this was my first time purchasing a cell phone in prison. You know what I'm saying? So I was antsy to get it. You know what I'm saying? But hearing what these dudes went through to get it was crazy, bonkers, crazy. Hey, man, I can't make none of this stuff up. I promise you. You know what I'm saying? And these dudes, some of them I'm still in contact with. You know what I'm saying? So trust me, I can pull them on the show and it run the whole story down to you themselves. But yeah, I get the phone the next day. You know what I'm saying? And once I get the phone, I had that phone probably for like a month, probably a month at the most, man. And on some humbug stuff. You know what I'm saying? We ended up going on lockdown, and it was one of the lockdowns where they search. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? They use searching as a weapon in prison. You know what I mean? So 9 times out of 10, you know what I mean? If you didn't hide your stuff right, whatever you wasn't supposed to have was gonna get found doing one of those big search. And they did it so much, so much, so much. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a gamble on if you was gonna be able to get away with whatever it was you had or not, especially a cell phone back then at them times. You know what I'm saying? A flip phone at that. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I just remember getting that phone and losing it probably like a month, maybe a month and a half after going through all that, you know what I'm saying, to get it. You feel me? And lost it on the humbug. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was just a trip, man. Hearing the story, you know what I'm saying, on the lengths that dude went through. I mean, hey, you can look at that however you want, right? A hustler is gonna, he gonna do what he do. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? I look at this dude as like how they say pimps are. You know what I'm saying? Pimps will sell their own, but if a pimp ain't willing to sell his own booty, he's not a pimp. Period. You know what I'm saying? And in this case, you know what I'm saying? In comparisons, hey, dude had his booty and everything all in it, man. You know what I'm saying? But making money doing it. Making money doing it. No homo, gay, nothing. He was making his bread. You know what I'm saying? So I respect the hustler. You know what I mean? Point blank, period. But yeah, man, that's my story on my very first cell phone purchasing in prison. You know what I'm saying? There's been many purchases after that. Many, 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 many. Too many to count. You know what I'm saying? But it's always interesting, these stories that you hear of how, dudes be making moves. You know what I'm saying? I remember another cell phone I had bought, another flip phone. I bought it from an Asian, and I was only able to get that phone out of him because he had a tobacco habit. Now, in prison, you're not going to find Asians sprung out on no hardcore drugs, at least not none of the ones that I knew. None of them, right? And I knew a whole bunch of them. But you're not going to find them sprung out on drugs, smoking weed, you know what I'm saying, doing heavy drinking like that. You're not going to find too many of them that's like that. But the one thing that them Asians is going to spend all their money on is that tobacco. They love that tobacco with a passion, right? And back then, at that time, I had a whole bunch of tobacco. You know what I mean? So once I found out that this dude was wide open off that stuff, right? I'm like, oh, okay. You did tell me that you was trying to sell a phone. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna flush you with this tobacco to the point where, you know, you're gonna end up giving me that phone instead of the money. I don't want the money. I'm making money. I'm getting money. I don't need him for that. But the one thing that I needed him for, I was able to work him. You know what I'm saying? So I swear to God, man, I probably gave that dude $500 in tobacco. You know what I'm saying? And paid him probably $150 in actual cash. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I bought a flip cell phone in prison for basically tobacco, all tobacco. You know what I mean? Tobacco go a long way in prison, man. Y'all got to think that nicotine is addictive and it's universal, meaning everybody indulges in tobacco. Black, white, Mexican, Asian, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? So the smart thing that I figured out was since it's a universal thing, I would make the most money by pushing tobacco. And that's what I did and made a killing. Bring them days back of making the money, of course. That's it. But yeah, man, that's what I wanted to bring to the round table, man. Like I said, I don't want to hold y'all up too long. You know what I'm saying? Just wanted to bring that funny, crazy prison story to y'all. You know what I mean? Um, but on that note, I'm gonna let y'all get back to doing y'all. I'm gonna get back to doing me, man. I love and appreciate you all for stepping back to this round table as you always do. It's all love. Shout out to the new subscribers. To those of y'all that haven't did it yet, please take this time and opportunity, like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video. You know what I mean? And make sure y'all hit that notification bell right there under the screen. Hit that notification bell so when I drop these videos or we do it live, it'll notify you immediately. You know what I'm saying? That way you won't miss none of the show. You won't miss the videos as they drop. None of that. You know what I'm saying? But if you show up late, hey, we ain't mad at that either. As long as you show up, we love and appreciate you all. On that note, I'm up out of here, man. Till the next time we meet at this round table, triple gang.